welcome back to the 3OldGuysPodcast. Now, today's a big one for us, just saying, because somehow, yes, I said somehow, the guys managed to book a guest who is way out of their league. Just saying. Anyway, so we're talking about a man who has done an internship at NASA, and like actual rocket scientist, you know what I mean? He's worked with Kajabi, which means he's helped more people build online businesses than Tim has broken microphones. Yeah. Anyway, he's a dad, a teacher, a content genius, in my personal opinion, but I'm glad he said yes before he Googled who he'd be talking to. Just kidding. Anyway, so Tony is brilliant, and he's down to earth, and he's one of the few people I've met who can make complex marketing sound simple and make content easy to do, and he makes you laugh at the same time. So make sure you grab your coffee, because today's episode is going to be equal parts wisdom, chaos, and probably some confusion. Just saying. So buckle up, because the handsome genius himself, Mr. Tony DiBernardo, has officially entered the chat. All right, boys, try not to scare him off. Have a great time. Tony, thank you so much for being here.
3 old guys, thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this. There's no amount of out of league that makes me not excited to just chat with friends. So thanks for having me on. I was just excited to come on.
Well, and we're trying this from a different perspective, because my computer decided it wanted to brain fart on this whole interview process. So we're having to do this through Google Meet. So it's a different format. The audio is being a little funky with us. So we're trying to figure that out as we go. Bye, Les. She just pooped. It's honestly better to have her on camera, because at least I can do something with it, but it is what it is. I don't know. I'm at a complete loss. I know that you were amazing at the mastermind that we did in Nashville. So we have had the opportunity to meet before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really fun.
It was a lot of fun.
That was difficult though. You guys put a lot of work into that, and I remember going to the event like, oh man, I couldn't do something like this. This seems stressful. But it was nice to just come and enjoy it. So great job.
Well, you're always going to have issues. I mean, the lady tripping over my cord to my laptop and breaking my laptop in the middle of it didn't help.
Hey, every sign has a story. Now I literally have a note on my phone that says, if you ever run a live event, tape down the cords because of that moment.
Yeah.
And we had 3 laptops, and I can only get one to work, and then she ended up breaking the one that worked. So that messed us up completely right then and there.
There we go.
We have questions for this. We really do. And I think one of John's big questions, and we're going to start off right off the bat with kind of the important one, is you help people with engagement and bringing up their social media presence. Mm-hmm. That is kind of your area of expertise, isn't it?
It is. On accident, it became my area of expertise. Yeah, it was. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I never wanted to be a social media strategist, and I absolutely despise social media, believe it or not. And it was one of those things that found out I was good at and said, well, let's find a way to enjoy this. If it comes this easily, then let's find a way to enjoy it. Now I love it. Now I really love it. But initially, I actually loved working for a normal company, with seeing coworkers every day and having medical insurance, go figure. And entrepreneur life just never, I never found it attractive or that I wanted to do it. And I've got kids, and it's expensive where I live. So it's not something I ever wanted to do. And then, yeah, eventually.
Well, yeah, Southern California is not exactly an easy location to live in, price wise.
No, it is not. It's no, it is not. I'll leave it at that. It is not. So yeah, but you find that when you're in a place like this, that there's not many jobs that you can just get that cover all of your bills. So it's so now in order to survive here, we each have 2 jobs. Most people I know have a normal job and a side hustle, or straight up 2 jobs. It feels crazy. But anyway, yeah.
Well, in today's economy, I'm not going to pick on one side versus the other, but in today's economy, we live in a relatively cheap area. We're literally in the dead center of Kentucky.
Okay.
And it's not easy to support a household even here. And our cost of living is quite a bit less than it is. I mean, my mortgage is only $1,200, and I've got 5 acres and a 4-bedroom house.
Whoa. Oh my God. You just gave me a stomach ache. 1,200 on 4 acres? Are there any listings nearby?
Actually, there's quite a few.
My goodness. Yeah, I
But-
talk to people here and they're like, they say that they need to bring in at least at the very minimum somewhere around 10 grand a month just to survive here.
It's California.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, I pull in 8 and we're doing okay.
Dude,
But the difference is it's what, 76 degrees, 78 degrees in California right now.
oh, we pay for perfection here. It is, I mean, we go surfing on Christmas Eve. It is,
Right.
yeah.
Versus it's November 10th and it's snowing.
Does it get pretty rough? Like the weather, does it get pretty rough or no?
I have quads to go to the store when we can't get out.
Whoa, cool.
It's mostly ice.
See, it sounds cool to me, and then I actually get out there and I wouldn't last a second. That's what would happen. I'm like, wait.
And that's the thing is John's from Southern California. I'm from Southern Arizona, and Tim's actually from Michigan, so he's perfectly fine. He's got this down pat.
Yeah, it's in his blood. No fair.
We got up here, we're used to 114, 115, and that's nothing. We don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Now it drops below like 20 degrees and we're dying, and everybody else is still in t-shirts.
Yeah, it gets pretty cold here, and yeah, living, in Tucson compared to here, like such a dramatic change. I mean, we get to see the weather change and whatnot. That I haven't been able to do living in California and in Arizona. But to get back to what we were talking about, being a strategist.
Oh yeah, back to the original topic. I'm sure John's trying to wrap his brain around how this is actually beneficial to your average person.
No, not the average person. Us.
Well, us.
For
I mean,
3 old idiots.
We sit here and we talk about crazy stuff, just music and some silly politics that we come up with. So when we're talking to you about strategy and stuff like that, what can you tell us that would make people want to listen to that compared to all the silly stuff we normally talk about? I mean, is it beneficial for us to help with what you're saying as far as, taking advice or
well, let me try to clarify this question. He's looking for our regular viewers are going to want to see this, and I tried to point out and tell him that we're lost. It's 3 old guys, and we're stabbing blind, and in the video podcast market, kind of hunting, pecking our way through. I mean, obviously, the swap from the computer to the phones is a technical aspect of it. And I know that you're more towards growing your followership and your viewership, which is the social media strategist. Maybe I'm not explaining it properly.
How can we
Or maybe
use
I'm not
content
wrapping my
strategy
brain around it.
to get people to care about 3 old guys on a podcast?
Well, it not only 3 Old Guys podcast, but there's obviously you have information that would help other people. One of the examples I brought up is we've got some friends with bands that they're not getting people to come visit their sites to look at their bands.
Yeah.
So this is actually good information to bring people into your page, which is, and that's what you do. You push for that, and I know that they can find you. You're on TikTok and Facebook and
all the stuff. Yeah. When it doesn't, this is actually a really good question. I'll answer it for the 3 Old Guys podcast, but everybody can take this and use it to get attention. The biggest thing that we have to remember when we're like trying to draw attention to something is, I mean, I just said it, it's called drawing attention. And you guys said that you normally talk about maybe some music, maybe some politics here and there.
It's just random 3 old guys.
Random, right? This is something that I actually haven't even done well myself, to be totally honest. But this is something, whenever I tell somebody to do this, they do it really well because, well, I've intentionally gone after a very wide market, which is a lot harder to be successful. But when you try to draw attention, nobody wants to watch anybody like toe the line. Nobody wants to watch like a political moderate, say how nice all the politicians they know are. Nobody wants to say, oh, how much this is a podcast about all types of music. This is a podcast about all, maybe politics is a little different, but this is a podcast about all the people we love, and we're being nice to everybody and doing everything and catering to every single person. I think that, and this isn't me accusing you, but so many people are afraid to to just like be a little polarizing. And that sounds very very surface level, of course, but we have to remember, for people to want to come back, to want to listen to us, we have to attract like real fans. And
Yeah.
you wouldn't be a real fan of, like, if you're just a fan of football, you're not showing up and you're watching the Bengals or the Panthers or the Rams like religiously every single week. If you're just a fan of football, you're just going to try and watch the football, right? But there's something about that specific team that made you want to follow them, whether you were born there or whether, you know, they make funny social media content, or whether they have the best players. There's something that makes you a fan. Now, you know that some of the most successful podcasts out there, when we look at how we try to emulate successes, they're either super left-wing or they're super right-wing. Let's say if they're just politics podcasts. You know, those people aren't afraid of offending other people. They're not afraid of being attacked, you know, or whatever. If people don't like a podcast, you know what they do? They just don't listen. There's no like a defense you have to play. So when it comes specifically to a podcast, and this will branch out further, people think that they're afraid to be themselves because they don't want to push anybody away. But what they're really doing with that is, because they're not being themselves, they're actually not attracting the true fans that would enjoy their true selves. And
Yeah,
so
people pick up on that.
yeah, they pick up on you just like trying to play nice and not being necessarily fake, but just not giving your whole self. And of course, we could dive way more into this with, you know, the bands that need attention, or people in different industries not getting the attention that they want. But what it comes down to is there is some part of your personality or what you do or something that will make people want to watch you. And it's just something that you haven't allowed people into deeply enough yet. And now I've listened to 3 Old Guys, but I haven't listened to all your episodes. So I'm not diagnosing this as the problem, but it's a really good place to start. Like, if we don't even, it's worthless to focus on content strategy if we're not even showing up as our whole honest, unapologized self, you know?
I hear you. Yeah. So I don't know. You got any questions, Tim? What do you think of?
Well, I mean, I've got the list of questions up that we can actually kind of ask, and the next one on the list is, and this is a good one. So, as a social media strategist, what exactly does your day look like? I mean, I know that it's not. There's a lot of people that go online, and I see this from my wife's perspective, and I talk to my wife about it because she, you know, Mama Bear Marketing, and she does her own TikTok and social media. I see her quite a bit looking at these people that are doing these income plans and saying that this is super simple and super easy. And I look at it from the podcast perspective of it, you know, here that, I mean, yeah, Tim has to go to bed at 2 for his job, and John is usually down taking a nap because, you know, his medication is messing with him. After we record this, I might spend 5 or 6 hours doing transitions and video editing, cutting out dead spots and blank spaces. It's not as easy as all that from my perspective. From your perspective, what does your average day look like when you're trying to set somebody or organize somebody's social media and make it more successful?
Yeah. So right now, I help a lot of people right now, which is the way I wanted it to happen. So the first thing that I'll do is I guess it starts the night before. I'm probably working till midnight most nights just to get stuff done, because I have 4 kids and I'm home with them, and my wife is at home with them. So I'm probably waking up, rolling out of bed around 6:30 or something like that. We'll get downstairs. Me and my wife will have a cup of coffee. We'll get the kids rolling. We'll get them fed. We'll spend a little time with them just to make them feel like they're spending some time with their dad before I close the door and work. And then around 9, I'll start working. And the first hour of my day is all support. So getting into the communities that I support, answering emails, answering DMs, making sure that every need is taken care of. And to be honest, I would love if that only took an hour, but sometimes it takes 2 hours. And then I'm like, okay. And my main work blocks are 9 to 12, 2 to 5, and 9 to 12. So the PM 9 to 12. And so my goal for the whole day is in that 9 to 12 block, that first AM block, I just want to create one piece of content. That's it. Because when we create a piece of content, it's going to work for us all day. I don't want to wait till the afternoon, because if I wait till the afternoon, I won't do it. So I want to film something in the morning. I want to answer all my emails, and I want to make sure that my like my blocks later in the day are planned because I have ADHD, and if everything's not planned, then nothing will get done. I swear it could be absolutely messy sometimes. And people, to be honest, people see me as this very successful person in the online space, but Wayne, if I open TikTok, I'll lose 2 hours.
Easy.
If I start scrolling, the day's over. It's horrible. So there are times because of my own doing where if I start scrolling, I'm just not making money that day. I just totally sabotage myself. Now, in a perfect world, I'll answer all the DMs in 30 minutes. I'll go live for an hour or 2 hours and try and get some leads on TikTok Live, because TikTok Live is the best place right now to get leads because they just push us out to so many new people. Then I'll take a 2-hour break. I have lunch with my kids, and then I do some medical needs for my son, which I'll handle in the lunch hours from 12 to 2.
Okay.
And then from 2 to 5, if I don't have content posted and I don't have everybody's needs answered, then I have to do it then, which means that I was too distracted in the morning, which means the whole day from 9 to 5, the only thing I got done was create a TikTok and answer some emails. And that happens gosh, I wish I could say I'm in this perfect zone where I don't get distracted, but that'll happen like twice a week because I'm fighting against distraction,
And then you feel like you're chasing your tail the whole time.
Then I'm chasing my tail because I'm in communities or I have clients where I promise one thing, or I promise I'll audit somebody's account, or I promise I've got this course that I'm creating, or I've got this module I'm creating. And if I can't do it during the 2 to 5 portion in the afternoon, then it's like, wow, I don't do anything that day that moves my business forward. So to be totally honest with you, perfect world, I create content, emails, and go live first part of the day. Afternoon, I can work in the business. Like, what are the things I promised to fulfill on? Whether that's doing content audits for people, whether that's maybe doing a coaching call, or maybe that's meeting with somebody that needed content help. But what I decided in my business is I want to help more people with less depth than small amount of people with more depth. So I don't want to charge $2,000 or $5,000 to help 10 people. I'd rather charge $20 or $40 and help 1,000 people, so I'm not doing a lot of in the weeds strategy right now, which has been really fun. I'm just getting people motivated. I'm teaching them the skills. I'm just getting people locked and loaded and kind of on their own way so that they can figure a lot of stuff out on their own and have wins along the way, which is great. But that's basically what my day looks like. A very successful day means that I do content and live in the morning, building whatever I'm building in the afternoon. So that's a course or a module or a ebook or whatever. And then at nighttime, this is actually really important. For those of us who have ADHD or are stuck on TikTok or have been in this digital marketing space, if listeners aren't familiar, it's just this space where those of us are trying to make money online. We have this syndrome where we go out and we hunt for our food every day, and it's so exhausting. But it's we're not building any passive income. We're just going and selling courses, and if we don't make a sale, we don't make money that day, and that is stressful. It's really stressful.
And it's not as easy as they say that it is. I mean,
it's not.
Do it.
It is not easy, especially you got trends changing, you got drama happening, you got people lying, you've got people coming on and making income claims, and you're like, how do you compete with that? And so to address
that's the one thing I've noticed, and I'm sure you've fallen into this as well. Maybe not you exclusively, but I'm sure it's been thrown at you. Is there are so many people that have done the fake aspect of it. Follow trains on TikTok is a big one that was there for a while. You could just go in and then suddenly you'd have 1,000 followers in 3 days, but nobody's paying attention to what you're doing. It looks good.
So I'll tell you what. When I first started on social media, this was in 2016. I wanted to create. So my degree is in astronomy and space studies. And so I wanted to create an Instagram that taught people about space. And back then it was only Instagram, right? TikTok wasn't really, it was still this stupid dancing app.
I think it was Vine at the time, wasn't it?
It was called Musical.ly. Vine was awesome. Vine was even before that. But TikTok wasn't a thing yet. And so I wanted to do this. And so I came across this ad that was like, hey, do you want to buy followers? And I was like, oh, maybe that'll just give me the bump I need. I didn't know anything. It was 2016. It was the beginning of all this. So I bought 3,000 followers to give myself a bump, and it totally ruined my whole account. And so that's when I learned that Instagram and TikTok will take a look at your current followers to determine what type of person you want your content to go to. So then when I started making content, it went to random people, like probably fake accounts in China that I purchased, right? And so it completely tanked. So now you're talking about people doing follow trains and grow rooms and doing all these like inauthentic ways of growing accounts, and it really just destroys the account immediately. Like follow trains are hard because when you, let's say you, Dwayne, you're like, you know what, we want a bunch of followers. There's like 50 podcasters that all want to do this and we all follow each other. Let's do it. Then that tells TikTok that you want your content to go out to podcasters, which is totally not your goal. And so
No, I want to go out to viewers, obviously.
viewers, exactly. So yeah, the people, we have this skewed view of like what'll work, and we see a shortcut, we want to take it, and I'm guilty of that. I've done it, you know, but it'll ruin our accounts.
Well, and I think the other part that I was referring to in that is it kind of makes you look like you're fake. You're not being authentic. You're not, you know, these aren't the people that are interested. I mean, yeah, we only have 28 followers on this channel right now, but at least they're people that actually wanted to see what we were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it may be slow, but I don't want 1,000 fake followers and then I just look like an ass at the end of it.
Wait, you have 28 people who genuinely look forward to listening to you?
That's what we're hoping for.
That's the last number.
That's so much better than you know, if you could get 28 people to listen to full podcasts, you're doing better than most people who are posted online and only getting 100 views, because those views aren't even real views.
Yeah,
that's how many people.
7, 8 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's what people. TikTok sent it out to 100 people, and they started the video. They didn't watch the whole thing. If they watched the whole thing, it would have gotten more views. I would be thrilled if, you know. Dwayne, can I just pull up something? I want to. In my personal podcast that I just started. It's nothing crazy. My views, my distinct viewers or listens are, these are the last I don't know, 8 episodes. 42, 50, 45, 30, 36, 18, 36, 11. And I'm thrilled.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's people
know.
are actually listening because those, and YouTube will at least only show you the people that have stick around for more than 3 minutes.
Oh, is that what YouTube does?
Yeah. So if they don't stick around for at least 3 minutes of the video, it doesn't count towards your view count.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Maybe I should start making videos longer than 3 minutes.
I've done a lot of shorts that are like 45, 50 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And on some of those, I'm getting 1.2, 1.5 thousand views.
Whoa. Yeah. Well, that's what shorts are for. They'll drive traffic to your full videos and episodes. That's great.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out who we should have doing the and this is confusing the hell out of me. Maybe somebody online, when I actually edit this video and put it out there, maybe somebody can explain it to me. So we were trying to figure out who should do the intros and who should do more talking. You note that I'm doing quite a bit of the talking because, you know, DJ Hoots don't do a lot of talking.
That ain't it at all.
So I tried to do the meet the guys, and it's on TikTok, it's on YouTube. John got 83 views. Tim got 117 views. No, 128 views.
Yeah.
I ended up with 630. I made all the videos the same length.
How do they start?
It's literally just my explosion 3 Old Guys podcast logo. So all 3 of them start exactly the same way. They've got the same player in, and then it's just funny clips from the different videos we've done.
Just go to YouTube, check it out. Like, share, subscribe.
There you go. Wait, let me do it right now. I'll smash the subscribe button. Interesting. And that was one time you did that, right?
Each one of us have one Meet the Guys episode on YouTube Shorts.
So this is the other thing that really kind of pisses me off about social media and all this stuff is I can't, because of how unpredictable it is, I cannot make a decision on if something's working until I've tried it at least 10 times, at the very least. Right. So like there's a good chance you do that again 9 more times and John or Timothy ends up, you know, coming out on top. Who knows?
I really hope they smash me so that I can stop talking as much.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Dwayne, there's been videos that I do videos all the time where it'll flop. It'll get like 100 views on TikTok, which is bad. It's just very bad. And it happens a couple times a week where I'll do it. And I'm like, oh, maybe that didn't work. Or maybe I just need more examples of it. So I'll make like 9 more of the same exact type of video. I'll make one every single day. And there's been probably half the time where that style of video ended up working out. So
Right.
for meeting the guys, I know this, I hate telling people to do more work, but do more of them. You might be surprised on what works.
And I'll probably take different clips and redo them now and again, but of course I need a couple more videos because we don't actually have as many funny clips as I put in those videos. Now, me personally, I absolutely love John's because he made that blunder of calling it a cod pass one time and then tried to correct it and turned around and called it a cod pass again. And I loved his reaction to it. So of course that's always made it to his videos.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was watching another podcaster about putting in, things that you can do to extend it out. And he pointed out, don't ever delete your videos. He'd put out a video
What platform?
on something basic and he forgot about it. It sat there for 2.5 years and then suddenly it shot through the roof. He went from 1,000 views to 65,000 views. In the
Really?
space of a week.
It's on
2.5
YouTube?
years after he posted. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool.
So that's just, I try to give them the opportunity to do whatever they're going to do. And I know that some of them are going to stagnate, but people might go back into them. And I've seen videos that have popped up. I have 3 different YouTube accounts. One is for the podcast. I have one for my offensively saucy t-shirt business.
Nice.
And then I have just my regular one that I listen to music and whatnot on.
Yeah.
About once or twice a week, I'll have a random video pop up from my 3 old guys. Will just pop up on my regular one, just out of the blue. And it might be a month old.
Yeah.
It suddenly shows up on my shorts again.
Interesting. So YouTube.
We lost you again.
Yep, my power's gone. No,
Tim just didn't want to be here.
I got it plugged in over here.
No, he's using a cord on a power block, so it's only charging it at 1.2 volts, and he doesn't charge his phone very often.
Oh, okay.
So
1.2 volts.
His phone died.
All right.
He can just
I'm
come
trying to
stay
see.
in here. He'll
I'm
just
going to
be-
see if I can plug him into the power block over here. Maybe I can get it to work a little better.
I'm telling you, these 3.
See, this would be a problem if it was the 3 Young Guys podcast. Then we could give them shit for it.
No, I mean, trying to figure out technology is not our greatest.
Yeah,
aspect.
Leslie's over here texting me things on the phone. I'm trying to read it and then it disappears.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what the hell did she say? I can't find it. I'm pushing buttons, man.
Go
Just
back.
give me text cues. That's all I'm doing.
Leslie, just write it. We gotta go back to writing it
I gotta
down.
go back to old school for these guys.
Yeah, like what?
We're going to put it on the whiteboard, and then you'll just see all of us staring at the wall.
Well, no, it said, well, ask him this. And I'm trying to read it as fast as I can, and it was gone.
Yeah, you only get part of it.
Then I'm wondering, how does the phone know what I'm doing? That's just weird. Okay.
Tim, just come in here and use my desk. It's fine.
Jim, did you hear that?
No, I did not.
She said,
Come
you go
here.
in there. She wants to talk to you. Something about you're in trouble. She's pissed, dude.
It's not the first time I've been called to the principal's office.
Don't be a dork. Just get in here.
Ooh, you in trouble.
I'll just monitor from here that way. It's a good thing y'all's editing skills are the bomb, considering, OBS, all the things.
Yeah, if
You mean all
listening
that
to
stuff
us right now, we tried to record this and we all had tech issues. My
I'm
internet. just-
telling you, that's going to be a story. Here you go. Just sit here and look pretty and then ask a question. And teach.
Just sit here and look pretty. It's fine. Fine. All fine.
I'm the old of the old 3 old guys. Well, not really. John's older.
John's older.
Okay, so anyway, what's the next question, Les?
What's one lesson your kids have taught you that made you better at what you do?
Oh man.
He's busy asking questions, so I got opportunity to set up the questions for me and John to be able to see.
There we go.
What's one lesson my kids have taught me that have made me better at what I do? Yeah, so we have this idea that if we're over 25, then our brain is fully developed, which means we should be able to figure things out on our own. One of my kids has the same, let's call it ADHD tendencies that I do. They're pretty young, so I'm not trying to throw them in that category yet, but they need a lot. They need a lot of hand holding that, like, if something doesn't go according to plan, they can fully crash out. If something, if they get overwhelmed and there's too much stimulation, they fully crash out. And so this is kind of what I was referring to before. I found when I was noticing that in them is that when I'm sitting here at my desk and I've got 3 hours ahead of me to work and there's too much to do, or something won't work, or something's not going the way that I planned. I don't know if Leslie wanted a sentimental answer to this. She's not going to get one. I need like something to keep me on task and accountable, or else I will kind of crash out and I'll scroll, I'll nap, I'll walk outside, I'll get distracted, I'll hang out with the kids, which is not a bad thing. But if I don't have like a system in place, because I don't have a manager, God, I wish I did sometimes.
You
But
can
if
have
I don't-
ours.
Yeah, I'll take yours. But
Please, Tinker.
so that alone forced me to create a system for myself that actually makes sure that I get stuff done. So I don't know if there's a better way to do this. I have ChatGPT alert me every 30 minutes to make sure I'm on task. I tell it, first thing I do when I get in is at 9 a.m. It automatically messages me, okay, what are we trying to get done today? And I'll tell it what I'm trying to get done. And then it'll break that into the three different slots. And then it'll check on me every 30 minutes to make sure that I'm making progress in those things. Because if without those reminders, I could be scrolling for hours. I could be petting my cat or playing with my kids or just going back to doing chores and feeling useful, because I can't feel useful with a to-do list that I don't even know which way is up with. So to be honest, it's taught me that when there's just a lot of work to do, I have to rely on somebody else, or I have to rely on a system to help me get it done, because I'm not doing it on my own. I've failed too many times and I can't rely on it anymore.
Yeah, if you watch any of our podcasts, you'll randomly hear like one of them say, "Get on topic,"
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's
constantly off. Yeah.
I'm the worst person to have on if you want to stay on topic. That's for sure.
Hey, did you feel?
Well, no, it sounds like you would fit in perfectly because we
Great.
fall off topic all the time.
Yeah. Squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. But
anyway,
no, I mean, it's been good. Go ahead.
No, well, I was going to ask.
He's trying to stay on topic and actually read the questions.
We need
that my wife did.
somebody who's trying to stay on topic. That's good. I'll take it.
When you got a gift for making complex ideas simple, what is your secret or practice, patience or pain?
Complex ideas simple. Well, when I was younger, I did not I don't even want to use this term, but I didn't identify as someone who's very intelligent. I didn't think of myself as someone who's very smart. I was in high school, but it was I know I've talked about ADHD a lot, but it was undiagnosed ADHD. I had no idea why, but I was a bad student. Couldn't figure out why. I thought I was just kind of dumb. I was in drumline, so I was in marching band and drumline. And a lot of the kids there also felt the same way. We didn't really hold ourselves to a high standard. And so I kind of just thought, oh, I'll just be a musician my whole life. And I'm kind of aloof. And, I'm not going to amount to anything academically. And this is all good, I guess. And so I told my parents that I wanted to major in music. And them and my music teacher were like, no, you're not majoring in music. Unless you're going to be in the Philharmonic or you're going to go play for an orchestra, you're not doing this. And so they only agreed to help pay for my college, my parents to help pay for my college if I did something academic. Now, mind you, I went to a state school, so it wasn't that expensive. But I said, okay. So I went through college. I got a communications degree because that was the easiest one I could find. And all the jocks did it. I basically looked up what do athletes do in college just to pass, and it was communications. So I said, okay, we'll do that. And now looking back on it, majoring in communications probably had a big, it's a big reason why I'm a good communicator today. But what it really was, I think, is I took a class, basically in my last semester, they had me take a class that was outside of my major. They're called capstone classes. And so I waited to the last second because that's who I am. And the only class that was available was called History of Human Spaceflight. And I was like, okay, well, I was never exposed to this. I never learned physics. I never learned about space in college or in high school because I didn't take any of those smart classes. But I looked up on the internet and people gave it reviews and said it was easy. You just watch a video and you take a quiz and that's it. I said, okay, I think I can do that. So I signed up for this class. Yeah, easy enough, right? I signed up for this class, and long story short, you guys know the ending. I fell in love with space. And I was at this kind of impasse where I knew I really wanted to learn more about it, but I thought I was a stupid kid that couldn't learn about it. So I took it upon myself to teach myself, everything that I wanted to. So I watched a lot of Neil deGrasse Tyson videos. I watched a lot of podcasts for, believe it or not, for kids on like how to learn all this stuff. And
Well, I mean, if you start from scratch, I don't have a problem.
Scratch. I had no idea what I was doing.
You're self-taught?
Self-taught. And physics is hard to be self-taught in because it's like an academic thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't know who told this to me, but somebody told me the best way to learn is to teach others. So I thought, oh, okay, well, why don't I just try to teach others in a way that I understand, that I would be able to learn? So what I did was I had this idea for this YouTube channel where I had 10 video ideas. What is a star? What is a planet? What is a nebula? What is a black hole? What are all these things? And I would research them, and then I would make a script, almost like write a one-page paper on what they were from my perspective, what I could understand. And then I made 10 YouTube videos about them. And these YouTube videos were the best I could do. I was really proud of them at the time, but they weren't anything special. And then I just kind of fell in love with communicating these things. I don't know. I had this podcast all about space, and I had this YouTube channel, and I fell in love with making people understand that they weren't too stupid to study this cool thing called outer space. And so I think at the same time as doing that, I kind of just really kind of found this purpose of communicating complex things in a simple way. I think that's where it started. And now it's one of those things that comes so naturally to me. It like gives me purpose. So now, I mean, shoot, digital marketing wasn't this first, content creation was not the first time I did this. I did this with space. I was interested in crypto for a little bit. So I created a crypto YouTube channel that was not very successful, but I really enjoyed it. And I learned all about the fundamentals of crypto. I did that. I was, somebody found one of my space videos and said, hey, can we hire you to make videos for our Shopify app? And I said, sure. So I was paid YouTuber for a Shopify app in the e-commerce space. And then I was making content and communicating how to like grow an online business on Shopify. So all these little experiences, I think, kind of really prepared me to teach content in a way that was understandable, because through all this, I was never a master at content, but I had to teach through content. So I just kind of learned content along the way,
So you found your groove.
Found my groove. Yeah, it took long.
It's actually brilliant the way to go on about it. I mean, it answered some of the questions that were on the list, but that's a brilliant way of going about it. Now, the only question that I have is, you said you went through communications. Now the big thing on YouTube and Instagram is online radio channels.
I'm not even familiar with this.
So one thing that I'm seeing pop up more often for the music end of it is these guys that have an eclectic or a particular style of music they listen to. They're now programming, say, 50 or 60 songs onto a playlist, and that they do as a channel.
Interesting.
For people to watch on their podcast. And literally you go to their podcast channel and you can pull up their radio channel and it'll play the music that they would normally listen to, or whatever they're listening to that week, so that if you're interested in listening to them talk about it, you have a basis for what they're listening to at the same time.
So you can run one of these radio channels without worrying about copyright or anything like that.
No, it's because all you're doing is effectively advertising a playlist on YouTube. You're not removing the music from YouTube, and it's already available on YouTube.
The YouTube videos are being added to your playlist, and you're just providing the playlist.
Yeah,
interesting.
Kind of as a radio show or a video show. With the loss of MTV, and of course, MTV hasn't really put out music videos for a long time. So now a scripted and kind of organized
Like curated.
show.
Yeah.
About videos of a particular genre or what your interest is for that week or whatever. And you can put it
See-
out there for the people that listen to it. Maybe it gives them an opportunity to find new music that they normally wouldn't.
Yeah, see, that's something I could get into, not for creating it, but for consuming it. It's really hard to find stuff I actually want to consume because there's so much crap
Right.
out there that I don't want to. I don't know. I want to be
We
like a
have
good.
tons of ideas.
You
We
what?
have tons of ideas.
Yeah, for like this.
Music,
one's-
content, music.
Oh my god, this one's great. Oh, I love music. Music is like
Yeah.
was my first love.
Yeah,
But
music is my first love as well.
What's your favorite kind of music? I'm gonna
Rock.
derail again before John
It's
gets
major,
us.
major rock, any kind of hard rock, metal.
He likes gospel.
Shut the hell up, boy.
I think he liked more country gospel, right? That was what he told me.
Yeah.
Oh, my bitches live in ditches.
It's a good thing he's on headphones and his kids can't hear you.
I don't even know where they are. That's the great thing about headphones. I have no idea what's going on behind me.
They're tuning in on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. They've got your YouTube pulled up.
Which is why we're not live right now, because I'm going to be able to edit some of this stuff out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Hey, you can keep as much as you want. I'm okay with it if you are.
I have grandkids that watch some of this stuff.
Got it. Understood. Okay.
Hi, it's me, Uncle Timmy.
So one of the questions that's up here, and is a good question to ask. If someone's starting over from zero today, which is kind of, I mean, we're not necessarily starting over from zero. We've been doing this for a couple months now. What should they focus their energy on? And I mean, I'm not trying to do this from just the podcast aspect of it. Anybody trying to put information or content out on the internet, what would be your recommendation for focus?
Yeah. Totally. So this is a question that is actually a lot harder to answer than I thought, only because I have the answer, but I don't know which order it goes in. Because every time I do something, it changes my mind on what should come first. But I do think there's two things that need to happen. The first thing, actually, that does come first. The first thing that does come first is understanding what's already working. And people are like, "Well, I don't want to copy other people's content. I don't want to do it." It doesn't matter what you want. What you need to know is what content your viewers or the viewers that you want, what do they love watching right now? Like what is working on them? People think that you have to start from zero and like, oh, I'm just going to start creating 10 different types of content and see what sticks. Like, no, you already have the data. Just go to all the people who are marketing towards your ideal customer or your audience and see what they're doing. I'm not saying you have to do what they're doing. You need to get a lay of the land. You have to know, let's say you want to do, let's just use 3OldGuysPodcast. Are there any podcasts out there with a couple old guys or people that say that they're old guys and they just, shoot the shit and they chat about maybe music, maybe politics, maybe it's like a little bit of nothing all the time. Maybe it's just showing their personalities. If somebody's doing that successfully, it would really benefit you. And I'm going to focus on Old Guys Podcast, and people can apply it to their own thing. But if you want to do this, and there's somebody that's doing it successfully, you have an obligation to figure out, okay, what the heck are they doing that's working? Because one, it could be tech. What if they just have like really smooth audio and their editing is good, which makes no matter what they say really nice to listen to? It's like, great. We don't have to sacrifice any of our style or our personalities. It seems like, because they're pretty boring. It seems like if we just make it sound nice to the listener, then that might be enough. Great. That's number one. Number two, what if they are like totally polarized on a specific subject? So if you go on and you see 4 or 5 successful podcasts about 3 old guys or something, for example, if all of them are politically one way or another, then that tells you, okay, it seems like their audience likes a bit of an extreme take. Seems like they like people that are sticking to their guns or not, whatever, sticking to their guns and not being afraid to show what they believe in and who they are. And so by studying what is currently working, you could gauge a lot about what you should do. For instance, I'll just use a separate example. Let's say somebody wants to sell stuff on TikTok. I tried this as an experiment. Let's say TikTok Shop, right? If I want to go on
Yeah, I
TikTok,
tried that
and figure out. Yeah, it's hard. I failed too. I failed. Let's say you go on there. So if I have a bunch of Star Wars stuff. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I have a lot of Star Wars stuff that you. Yep, here's perk up, Tim. Here we go. um, I have a bunch of stuff that's already sold on TikTok Shop. So I'm like, hey, I don't have to buy anything. Why don't I just sell what I have? And so what I did was I looked at those items. I looked at the top sellers of those items to see what kind of content are they creating. And you know what I found is that every single video had lightsabers in the background somewhere. And I thought, okay, interesting. I don't have to sacrifice any of my personality. I don't have to change who I am. But if one consistent layer in all of this is something as simple as a lightsaber in the background, that might be what's getting the person's attention. So I'm at least going to try it. I'm at least going to let the successful videos inform the content I'm about to make, right? So that's number one. But number two is, now TikTok Shop's different. You could do what everybody else is doing and be fine. But number two is, if you just make the same content everybody else is making, then nobody's going to listen to you. So number two is try to figure out how to stand out. So once you see, okay, we've got this landscape of what already works. Now we have to decide, can I do something? Can I do exactly what they're doing better than they can? Because that would be a great idea if you can. Or is there a way that I can do what they're doing, but differently, like that really aligns with my own style, my own personality, my own strengths, whatever, that can stand out amongst all these people that already have this podcast. So when I did the space, mine was called Space But Messier. Don't look it up. It is so old and I'm so young. But it's this old, I was not trying to say the title there. What I did was I listened to all the space podcasts and I was like, man, all these guys, they don't understand how to speak to stupid people. Like I'm like getting lost in nobody's communicating science in a way that's easy to understand for somebody who doesn't know anything. So that was the way that I made it different. As I went on, I was like, dude, I'm going to use small words. I'm going to speak to somebody like they're 5 years old, except I'm going to make it sound like I'm talking to an adult. And it worked. And then when I started making, and I don't mean to make this about me, but my personal experiences can just speak to this. When I decided to start selling courses online, everybody that was selling courses was only promoting courses. Oh, this course is so great. Oh, this thing is so great. You got to do this. I'm an affiliate marketer and the thing I sell is so great. It's like, interesting. Nobody was speaking negatively about any of these things. So how could I know that any of them were telling the truth if none of them were speaking negatively? So I was like, I've got this opportunity. I can afford to not make money for a month. Why don't I just talk smack on all the programs they're selling, run them through the mud appropriately, like honestly, right? Not doing it for no reason, and see if that alone can get people to trust me because nobody else is doing it. Now that worked super well for me. In 2 months, I got 2,000 followers, which people say is not a lot, but also that's plenty. And when I was ready to sell something, I had 2,000 people that trusted me that were just waiting to hear what I was going to sell. So I could not have done that if I didn't understand where the market was beforehand. So something that every single creator needs to do, whether they're a TikToker, or a YouTuber, or a podcaster, you have to understand the market that you're stepping into, or else I don't think you have a shot.
Well, and that's another question that I've got is how do you pick your market? I mean, obviously we're trying to get to, me and Tim have our basis of various friends that we've had from different bands that we've been in over the years. Friends, construction workers. We've been in quite a few fields. So we have people across all kinds of different spectrums.
Tons.
Yeah.
I think our biggest issue is just trying to figure out what our target audience is, because I don't know if maybe it's ADHD or ADD or just, 3 old guys that aren't able to focus on anything.
So
Tim will wander off in the middle of a conversation at the drop of a hat, and he has no problem with it. We're trying to figure out what our target audience is to begin with. So I can't make a plan for who to target this towards because we don't even know who we're targeting.
Why did you guys make the podcast initially? Like the real reason why you...
That's what I was thinking. When we started this, I thought it was for fun, just 3 guys goofing around, talking shit about whatever, unless recorded. It sounded funny. Maybe some people would enjoy it. And like I was trying to tell my brother the other night, we did this for fun. We're not trying to, get rich overnight or anything.
Yeah.
Now, apparently there's a market for it.
There
I
is,
don't
yeah.
know, but I try to keep to heart that, hey, I'm doing this for fun. I'm in it for the fun. Whatever comes next is cool. But if it don't, it don't. So am I wrong for thinking that?
No, no, that's a good point, actually. So there's two reasons to start a podcast. Well, three. The first reason is that you're an egotistical maniac who loves to hear his own voice and nobody wants to hear your voice. So that's number one reason. I know a lot of those guys who shouldn't have podcasts, and it's annoying. Anyway, the real two reasons why you start a podcast, one is to make money, one is to have fun. Okay. And a lot of the times those can go together, right? But when you're here to make money, your podcast is now a formula. You have to fit into a formula. You have to fit a system. So the podcast doesn't serve me at that point. I serve the podcast. So if I want to make money, I look at who's going to give me money. I look at what I could sell, and I make the podcast about those things. I don't like think about my passions, or I don't, say like, oh, what do I feel like today? No, it's if I want to make money, I figure out what's making money and I do that better, or I do it different. That's it. You just choose something that you could suffer through a podcast episode and try and make some money. I don't like doing these types of podcasts because there's too much pressure. You can't really be yourself a lot of the time. And 1 second you could say something that could break your brand. It's like really stressful. But that's number one. That's when you work for the podcast. You cater the title, the music, the visuals, the audio, whatever is working in the industry, you do it hands down. And your audience is the person who would buy said product. So the podcast is driven by whatever you're selling. That's number one. And those are that's probably the most common type of podcast, probably. Now, the other type of podcast is the one that you guys started, which is started for fun. Could be successful, could not be, doesn't matter at this point.
No.
But the difference is you're not trying to target a customer that's purchasing a product, which is super easy because you could use Facebook ads, type in that you want them interested in dog food or space industry or music, rock and roll music, whatever. But you guys, if you're doing this for fun, the only type of people that would enjoy listening to you are guys that would want to hang out with you, which are guys probably similar to you. So your audience is harder to target because you don't have like a brand, a clear direction that's like, we are a Star Wars podcast, we're a rock and roll podcast, we are a those are easy to market. But you guys are three different personalities, some of which are very similar, and you're looking for guys like you. So the fact that you're struggling to find an audience it makes total sense. Because when we start a podcast,
it's not like we're bombing per se, is it?
What?
It's not like we're failing per se. It's just,
You have 28 people who will listen to every episode. I consider myself successful, and I have 40. Like my friend has a business. All of her leads come through her podcast, and she gets a couple hundred listens every episode, and she makes 30 grand a month just by selling. She sells something for like $2,000. All she does is make podcasts. She's not even that big on social media, and she does that. I make no money from my podcast. I do it. Eventually, I want to make money from it later. But for now, I just want a place where I can say my thoughts and maybe get some people to like me or trust me or want to listen more, whatever. And to me, finding 50 people who want to listen is a success. So
Right.
How do we actually get our podcast in front of those people? A lot of people don't like this, but you just kind of have to tell people to share it. This is all I do. I don't advertise. I don't even talk about my podcast on my social media channels. But at the beginning, I have like 2 sentences at the beginning I say every time, and 2 sentences at the end that I read every time. And it's, welcome to the show. My name is Tony. I do this. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe, because there's more where this came from. And if you know a friend who'd like to listen, send it to them. And I say that at the very end. And because like when you're listening to a podcast that you love, your first instinct isn't to just send it to somebody. Your first instinct is to say like, oh, yeah, that was good. Move on. Next one. Or I'm now going to listen to music, and now I'm going to walk the dog, and I'm going to continue doing the dishes. And when people on podcasts tell me to share it or to 4-star it, 5-star it, I'll do it. But I'm not going to rate a 5-star podcast if somebody doesn't remind me to do it, So I find that if I'm going to grow the podcast, that I actually just need to tell people to share it. That's all I can do at this point. Yeah, eventually
That makes a lot of sense.
you could run ads. Eventually you could do this eventually. But the 2 biggest things are asking them to rate it. I say, hey, if you liked this podcast and want to support it for free, A 5-star rating goes a long way in Apple pushing our podcast out to more people. So that's like that. And I got 2 reviews this week, which was awesome, just because I said that little snippet. And I do it at the end because I know the people that make it to the end are more likely to like the show and want to do it. And then I tell them to share it with somebody. That's it.
That's a good idea.
Because if you're the 3 Old Guys podcast and you have 55-star reviews, and some guy who likes the brand of 3 Old Guys sees 55-star reviews, they're going to be like, oh, maybe these guys are fun to listen to. And so what I did, I know you guys know 50 people combined. What I did for my space podcast, which was fun.
You'd be stretching on that one because I'm not sure we do know 50 people combined.
Well, you could with Leslie's help, she could pull some strings. I literally got people that were not interested in space. 50 of my closest family, cousins, aunts, uncles. I had my grandparents do it. I signed them up with an Apple account. I got 50 phones, 50 devices, and I scheduled them out so that I would get 2 reviews every day. And so I would literally text people. I say, hey, thank you for agreeing. Well, I first asked them, hey, would you mind helping me grow my podcast? You don't even have to listen to it. I just want you to leave a review. And they're like, yeah, of course. Sure, I'd love to. And I said, okay, I'm going to assign you a day. And when I text you that day, I need you to just review the podcast in a 6-hour window. Could you do that? And they said yes. Because I heard that when you do it all at once, Apple doesn't show any of them. They think you're a scam, a bot, and it doesn't work. So I read to do 2 to 5 per day. So I had people do 2 a day over 25 days. And so I texted 2 people and I said, hey, can you leave a 5-star review today? Make it seem authentic. They said, yeah, sure. So after a month, I had 55-star reviews, and then my podcast started growing because Apple started showing it to more people. Did I cheat? Absolutely. But hey,
it's not a bad strategy if it works.
If it works, it's not weird if it works. Is that what they say?
I've done that at work. I'm constantly at work going, hey, I got they got the podcast going here. This is what we're talking about. Come check it out. Like, share, share with your friends.
If somebody did that to you, like if somebody said, hey, Tim, quick favor, I'm trying to grow a personal podcast. It may not be your cup of tea, but we're just trying to get off the ground. Would you mind just like leaving a review? Would you mind just taking 2 minutes and leaving a review? If somebody said that to you, Tim, you'd be like, yeah, of course. You know? So people forget that if they just put themselves in other people's shoes, that people are more than happy to help, you know?
Yeah, like Leslie said before on the podcast, she said, I'm the guy that goes around and I talk to people about it. You know, I'm the guy that's out there. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Tim's prior calling should have been social media strategy, if I'm completely honest, simply because the man runs his mouth about this because it's fun for him. I'm not even kidding.
That's how we know what we should do is when you just have unlimited energy to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Actually, part of my thing is I want to get out there because I've seen a bunch of different music podcasts. They do reactions and stuff. And I keep telling them, check this song out, check this band out, check it. And I haven't heard anything yet. So I just want to do something and like, look at this band, look at this band, look at this band. These are the bands I want you to see.
I'll tell you what, Tim, I would appreciate that so much because I haven't listened to new music since my daughter was born because life is upside down. So my playlist is the playlist that I throw on here also, it's called oldies but goodies. They're oldies to me because, you know,
Watch you say oldies because, you know, now we're oldies.
Oldies. I'll say it's oldies to me. It's definitely the music you guys grew up with. But my playlist that I will revert to is Little River Band, Bad Company, Boston, Mellencamp, Journey, Queen, Styx, Van Halen, Yes, Billy Joel, Zeppelin, 3 Dog Night, CZ Top, Thin Lizzy, Eagles, Doobie Brothers. And I haven't listened to new music in I don't even know what's going on. I think it's all crap until one day, maybe you like, okay. Do you like those, Tim, those artists?
Oh yeah. Those are great. I didn't hear Kiss in there.
No,
yeah,
Kiss was
our high school playlist.
I didn't get to Kiss yet, but I'll tell you what. So this is why I would love a channel like that, Tim, is because my brother came home from Coachella, this music festival. I had no desire to go to. I'm like not into.
There's been bands that have gone there that I've wanted to see that just.
Okay, do you know Greta Van Fleet?
Yes.
Oh man, so
they're out of Michigan from where about 100.
Are they really?
Where I lived.
Okay, so he came home and he's like, I know that you don't have time to listen to any new music. You need to check this band out. This was the best live performance I've ever seen in my life. And I said, really? So I started listening to it and I'm like, I wish there was somebody who I could just tune into once a week and they could just tell me what to listen to based on my like, I don't want to go look for music. I don't want to go to shows. I don't got time. We got kids that are 7, 6, 3, and 6 months. I don't got time to do anything. So
Yeah.
could somebody just like make playlists for me or just tell me what to listen to? And I can have one new artist a week that I can dig into.
My phone.
So that's why, like,
I'll
I'm
send you
telling you
a
that it may not be top of mind for you, but there are new dads who are like, shoot, I miss finding new artists, or maybe old. Like, for instance, I never listened to Kinda Blue, Miles Davis, Kinda Blue. I never listened to it. I listened to all these other jazz charts, never listened to it. And somebody was like, I was just playing some jazz in the background. I had put it on vinyl. It was just I don't know. It was I started with Stan Kenton, and then there was another jazz record next to it. So I put that on, and somebody came in and they're like, "Oh, do you have Kinda Blue?" And I was like, "No, what is that?" And I didn't learn. I don't know. I didn't take jazz, and I listened to it, and I'm like, "Damn, where was this when I was like 17 and learning about music?" So anyway, I don't know. That's me affirming that if that channel's on your heart, man, that would be sick.
I probably should add some stuff like that to our channel. I know that my wife, and she might agree to this and she might not, but I know that she does it, and I know that everybody else has seen her do it. When I come home, because I'm a truck driver, I have a lot of time where I just sit and listen to music, and I hear new things, and of course, if it's something I like, I add it to my playlist. And then I get home and I play it, and I'm listening to it on the way home from work, which is about a 2-hour drive for me.
Whoa.
And Les will pull up her phone and be like, "Okay, I need to add this one. I need to add this one." And she will immediately start copying my playlist to hers for the songs that she wants to listen to. Now, some of the ones that I've gotten into recently, there's a new wave of blues that's become big.
Do tell, please.
And yeah, Teddy Swims, Chris Stapleton.
Oh, Chris Stapleton, my goodness, dude. Jeez.
You've got Breaking Rust.
Breaking Rust. Okay.
There's a couple of decent ones from them. I've got them on my phone. I would have to pull them up. I know that there's a video I need to do about we kind of did one about the new direction that music is going, but maybe we could do one about what our musical recommendations are for that week.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I would. I'd be cool with most of them, but as soon as Tim mentions Youngblood, I might very well just throw him out the fucking window, because he has gone off nonstop about Youngblood recently.
Dude, I'll tell you what, when Ozzy died, I don't know where he's resting, but let him rest, I guess. When Ozzy died, Youngblood came on my feed a lot, and I still haven't sat down and listened to his music, but I like what I see. I'm not blaming Tim. I'm not blaming Tim. I like what I see.
He got a couple of good songs, and some of the earlier stuff I'm really not into. But some of the songs I'm like, okay, I like it. It's good, and he's got some.
He's got that spirit. He's got the old spirit.
Yeah, he does. Honestly, he does.
Cool. Yeah.
He just
Meanwhile,
he got three Grammy nominations.
Jeez.
Me personally, I would be perfectly happy if I never heard him again.
Too late. You already got the rub.
You see what we did? I just tried to egg him on so we talk about him even more. And now he's talking about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, that might not be a bad thing. Is to add it in as part of the podcast. As to what
He's like, don't even go there. John does not like Youngblood.
John, what's your go-to when you just want to chill? When you just want to relax, what's your relax around the house? What are you playing?
Oh, he's all about Moody Blues. Don't let him pull you.
Yeah.
Oh, me? You said
Nice
you like
voice.
jazz, right?
Say it again.
You like jazz, right?
Yeah.
You heard of Maxwell?
Maxwell.
Yes, he has an album out called Hang Sweet.
Okay. Yeah, let me clarify. I like jazz. I don't know it very well.
Yeah, Maxwell.
Okay.
There's also another one
right now.
Sade.
Maxwell. Oh, cool. What did you say his album was called?
Hang Sweet or something like
Hang
that.
Sweet.
Sweet as in like
Yeah.
building sweet. Yeah.
Oh, Urban Hang Sweet.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That whole album's pretty dope.
Okay.
Have you heard of Sade?
Sade, no.
No.
How do you spell that? What is that?
SADA.
Sade.
Sade.
Okay.
Sade.
Sade, yeah.
SADA.
Yeah,
Now-
those two are like,
Oh, you talk about like Smooth Operator, Saturday? Nope.
yeah, that one.
Yeah. Smooth
Yeah,
operator.
now he's wandering into Terrence Trent D'Arby area.
Yeah.
No.
That's more like 80s.
Yeah.
No,
Have you
Terrence
guys-
Trent D'Arby was jazz. He was 80s jazz.
As far as me listening to music, just when I want to jam out, I listen to a lot of Iron Maiden or, metal kind of stuff.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind that I just admitted to hearing Kind of Blue for the first time in 2025 last year.
Mhm.
So most of these I will be unfamiliar with. But if you bring it back to Iron Maiden, then I will be very familiar with everything we're talking about.
Don't
Yeah,
let John
yeah.
lie to you. He likes to listen to Green Day.
Dude, like he does.
And Nickelback.
Hey,
He-
look
he-
at that.
He swaps back and forth from Air Supply to Green Day. It's fine.
It's okay. It's the weekend.
Oh my gosh. As much as I actually didn't like that guy, his Super Bowl performance was pretty good. I was very impressed. I got to say, I'll give him credit there. Oh, man.
Was the Super Bowl hasn't happened yet. I don't know about that dude. Was it?
No, this was I don't know, 3-4 years ago or something like that. He came on and I was like, oh, not this guy. This guy's everywhere. All his songs on TikTok. And then the performance was like, damn it, he actually did a good job. Okay. All right, good for him. Like that time Bruno Mars came on. This was, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. And everything was gold. And I was like, Bruno Mars, not this guy just sings top 40. This is gonna be, and let me tell you, all of us were jaw dropped. We were like, oh, he's a real musician.
Okay, so
He's a performer. Got it. Okay.
Oh yeah,
We do have that. I like
He
Bruno
did
Mars.
Well, when I first came out, when he first came out, I was like listening to him and he was doing all this like lovey-dovey relationship songs. And I was like, I don't know, like his first
Grenade
stuff.
and
Yeah. Anyway, so when he did that, I was pleasantly surprised. No, yeah, he's great.
no, it's not too bad at all. We're getting kind of a little long-winded here, and I'm sure my wife is going to be like, this is going to take you the next decade to even edit this down. So this is a question that I see, and I think I actually want to modify it a bit. Now, obviously, you've done some intern at NASA,
Mhm.
and you've worked in the digital market space. And all these people that brag about being this and bringing this and being, how quickly before any of those, as brilliant as they think they are, and I'm not going to point anybody out. I don't want to single anyone out. But on average, how many of these people that think that they're so brilliant would be in the building for NASA for more than a half hour before somebody removes them from the premises?
To be totally honest, when I was at NASA, I was surrounded by guys like you three. Although I don't know your guys' hobbies, but when I walked in, there was a lot, this big sense of like, I guess the people you're talking about market themselves as jack of all trades. I'm like, I could do everything and I'm good at everything and I make all this money. But when you walk into NASA, you meet a guy who looks and chats and hangs out just like you guys do. And I'm like, what do you do? And they'll say something like, oh yeah, I do this very, 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 very specific thing. And I'm the only one that knows how to do it. And I'm really good at that one thing that I know how to do. And and I just started building radios when I was a kid. And then turns out somebody wanted to pay me for it. Now I'm at NASA. It's like this very humble expertise that they just had. And now I'll be honest, it's going through a huge gut right now. They're just, a lot of the older employees are leaving and it's all this big thing. Anyway, but the kind of people that are coming on saying, oh, I made all this money in a week and blah, 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 I think they'd be found out pretty quickly. And I'd like to say they wouldn't last long, but because NASA is a government agency, you can't get laid off. You'd have to be fired for doing something poor. So I think you'd just be shuffled around the government for a while until they didn't need you anymore. But to be honest, like, it's not these young,
fair.
it's not these young spring chickens just hopping in there and doing a bunch of work super efficiently. No, you go in there and you're finding these dudes and women who are just really good at one thing, and they do that one thing super well. and then they're usually pretty chill to hang out with, to be honest.
Fair enough, and that's the thing that I think that's the aspect I think it's more ego based. You've got so many people that think that they're everything to everyone all the time, and they're so much above everyone else. I mean, there's a particular one with a yellow and pink logo. We're not going to go into names, but
Mama Bear. Yeah, she is the
no. But there is one that is all about what she does is the top of the line.
Okay. Hold on, I want to search this person up who I think you're talking about, just to see if it's pink and yellow. Or Leslie could just text it to me.
I think it's the same creator you and I have been discussing all week.
Oh yeah, true. Cool.
Well,
Yep.
we're not going to be dropping any names in here, but it seems to be very ego based, and some of these people maybe don't live up to their own ego that they project. At least not what they're putting out there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that creator to me.
I just wonder how they would. What's your view on how they would interact with people who, when they come to realize you're talking about knowing this stuff, these people actually know this stuff? Because it's really hard to be egotistical when you're surrounded by people that can put you in your place at the drop of a hat.
Well, I'll be honest with you. This is not the answer any of us want to hear. They probably do pretty well. And here's why. Because they've successfully made hundreds of thousands of people on the internet believe one thing, which means they can chameleon better than any of us. And I can guarantee you that, especially in a government agency, even though I put NASA on a pedestal, government's the government. If you could make people think you're really good at a specific thing, you'll probably do pretty well. So if I'm being totally honest, they probably find a way to get themselves into a position that they're doing okay. Now, how long would that last? That's the real question. But getting into the position, those of us who, I could be a chameleon real quick. I could make a lot of those claims. I did it a lot in the past where I just tried to be what everyone wanted me to be. You could get into some pretty serious rooms by pretending. You can, even if you don't have a lot of substance, you can get into some pretty serious places. And it's only then you find out, maybe a couple months in, that you're not going to quite make it. So how long would they last? They definitely make their mark. They definitely get in there. But this is my problem. NASA has so many brilliant people, but it is a government agency. So
It is.
it's a little slower.
I
If you're a chameleon, you find a way. But you're not working on rockets. You're doing PR. You're doing communications. You're doing stuff that utilizes those skills. It's not like you're putting hands on tech that's going into space,
right.
So it's vital. You're not doing vital work. You're doing the work that gets cut first from the budget, which is education and communication.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't consider that any of these people could put themselves on the same list as Brian May.
No way. No way.
Because you shouldn't be able to be the lead guitarist for Queen and do the calculations that put the rover on Mars.
It's so cool, dude.
Yes, he is.
Brian May
I was
is so
thinking the
cool.
same thing. I was thinking of Brian May. I'm like, yeah, he's not fake by no means.
No.
Yeah, well, when I heard about it, I did not think that was what I was going to hear about in my music news for the day, and that he was actually credited for doing some of the calculations as a physicist.
Yeah, doesn't he have
Look it up.
Yeah, he has some. I think he's published in a couple papers and has some credits for that too. Yeah,
He does. He's credited for doing part of the calculations for the re-entry for the rover for Mars.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. So Brian May is literally the guitarist for Queen and an actual rocket scientist. The dude's ridiculous.
Yes. Oh, okay. So, Tony, what's next for you, and how can people follow you, support, and learn from you without falling for fakes?
Oh God. I wish that there was an easy answer. You guys asked the good ones. It's Because most of the time you don't know you're falling for a fake until after you've given them your money. So I'll tell you that.
It's a really great picture of John's neck.
But if your main concern is falling for a fake, I'll tell you what, somebody's figured it out before you have. So do some research. If you're seeing these people like, oh, those good for nothing Pippins. Ah, gosh, them Hannah and Zach. Just kidding. Like let's say Hannah and Zach, for instance. Let's say you want to follow somebody like Hannah and Zach, who are friends of ours, all of ours, right? But you've heard that maybe they're not to be trusted, or maybe that there's some drama around their thing. You could do a quick YouTube search, TikTok search, Google search, and find out that they are who they say they are, and most people are lying about them. You can find that out pretty easily. And so I didn't want to call anybody out, but you could also do that the opposite way for these people you hear all this negativity about. Or I do it for people that I love, people that I think that I love. And I'm like, man, what if there's a side of them that I don't know? I will research the heck out of them before I give them $1. Anything over $20, I'm going to research them, So that's number one. And you will find, you do a quick search on TikTok, you will find people that know these people more intimately than you do, that got kicked from their communities, that were treated unfairly, that their courses are just them reading off of a GPT script, and they're not actually helpful. Whatever, you could find this stuff. So that's how you know.
I'm sure that like one of those great examples would be a community that's changed its name 7, 8, 9 times in the space of their TikTok promotions.
I think you're referring to somebody specific, and I'm not picking up what you're putting down. But yes, exactly. Somebody who's changed their names a bunch of times.
Yeah, I'm going to relate it to trucking. So there's a particular trucking company out there that is on their 4th name for their trucking company. And you tend to not have a lot of faith when they change their name that often. And I think it works the same for the digital marketing space when they're changing the name of their community, and they're changing the name of their program, and they're changing the name of their entire basis. It doesn't lead to a lot of credibility in where they're at. And I don't know, maybe they are totally honest, but it doesn't show me that level of credibility because you have changed your name, and it seems like you're hiding something.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Very rarely. I changed my name. I'm about to do it for the second time just because a coach said, hey, this would probably be cooler. And I said, yeah, that sounds cool. So that's like 5% of the time where people are like, yeah, I think I want to rebrand. Yeah, it's cool. But the other
there's a long enough extent in there, and even you can explain, hey, we're moving in this direction, we're going to change to this, we're going to make it better, and we're going to improve. Just randomly going from one, and then suddenly you're hearing a different name.
I mean, to be honest, I know who you're talking about now. You could literally go to the Better Business Bureau and look up their business and figure out, oh shoot, I don't want to be associated with that at all. So
right.
But
so hey Tony, will you do me a favor as the social media strategist that wrangles these three? Can you do me a favor and tell people where they can connect with you, like on TikTok or your community, create and convert, and all those things, how they can subscribe and follow you?
Yeah, because
to be fair, Dwayne asked this and I didn't answer it. So that's on me, not Dwayne.
he is amazing. He is amazing at his job, and he has helped so many people. Now, obviously, we don't work with him; we're just interviewing him because we have our own strategy. But I do know that Tony is amazing at what he does, and I see him on TikTok and various different platforms now and again. So I know he is actually really good at this, and I would like people to come to your site and be able to maybe get some help from them, or you can help them out more specifically than just the random group of questions that we've asked you here.
Totally. If you guys want to find me, I am Content with Tony. That's one word. Content with Tony. Basically everywhere. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and I host a podcast as well. It's one that has 50 viewers.
You're probably gonna have 53 now.
There we go, 53. It's called Content King, and right now I'm doing like a couple times a week. I'm trying this new thing where I just hop on for a couple minutes. I hop on almost like a TikTok. I'll hop on for under 10 minutes every time, and I'll just say what I think people need to hear that day regarding what they should do with their content, and it's been pretty fun. But I'll show up 3 or 4 times a week, and that's been good. But that's called Content King. So if you guys want to connect with me, Content with Tony everywhere, and podcast is called Content King. But
I actually will be following you just so that I can kind of get some more tips and tricks on how to make this work a little better. I'm usually the guy that does the technical part of it, so I've got to come up with the topics and the better way to get things organized.
Yeah, they
and
won't
set
listen
up.
to my topics.
I don't know. We could have talked about music for a couple hours there, so that would have been fine by me.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for having me on. This was really fun.
We really
I don't-
appreciate you
I
coming on.
rarely get to
It's been
start
a lot of
my
fun.
week like I normally when I start Mondays, I'm so stressed out about like all the stuff that I have to do and the emails and the stuff, and I never actually get to start my week by just having a fun conversation. So this did more for me than I think you probably realize. So I appreciate it. I got
We
to start
appreciate you
drinking.
having us on.
I got to start drinking at 9 a.m. This was great. You guys didn't know this ain't coffee. Anyway.
Well, I only switched spots with Tim so I can end the recording because, again, guys, 3 Old Guys normally doesn't record this way. They usually use OBS Studio, but unfortunately, between Tony's internet and our internet, because it
It's
freezes
snowing here, so
all
our
day.
internet is not the greatest either.
And it's snowing, so our internet decided that the wind changed direction and we're done for in Kentucky.
But we made it work.
We made it work. We got Google Meet. We figured it out between all 5 heads.
There we go.
Tony, I am absolutely honored that you came on the Guys podcast. I appreciate you. And as our social media strategist, it warms my heart to hear that 28 subscribers is a good thing for them, especially the way they're going about it. Make sure you guys are following Tony. Make sure you guys are doing me a favor. These guys have links around here. You can support their channel so that they can keep, growing their mics and stuff with buying them a coffee. Don might prefer a beer. Tim would prefer a pizza. I mean, you can also send Tony a beer, through the 3 Old Guys podcast, or you can go, find Tony and buy him a beer anyway. But I want to say thank you so much. It means the world to me that you came and hung out with these guys.
I meant it. Had a good time, and like I said, now I get to start my Monday off with some good. I've got like 4 new artists I can throw on all day, from rock to jazz, and I'm happy as a clam. So this was really fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you for answering John's question, because I know that was a big question for him. We were trying to
Ease
his mind and get him to understand where we were coming from. So I appreciate it.
Sweet.
All
No
right.
rush.
Thank you, my dear.
Hi, everyone.
It's been a
All right,
pleasure.
man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Don't
Bye.
forget to like, share, subscribe, and
There you
listen
go.
to the 3 Old Guys podcast. Thank you very much.
And go find Tony.